Hope you're having a good day across the world, wherever you are on this Thursday. Let's see what we got. Um, see how y'all feeling out here. We're gonna talk about it. Obviously, you know, do I talk about it as a Heat fan? What goes through my mind talking about this mess with these trades and stuff? What do I care about these trades? You know, but I'm gonna talk about it because I know everybody wants to talk about it. So we're gonna find out what we're working with. Hope that y'all here. Now, this is the rule of thumb. If anybody comes, I will be here for a minute. If not, I only have it tailored towards a half hour to an hour because I got to get working on some things. But we're gonna talk about it. If you come here, we'll talk about it. So, pretty simple question today. NBA trades, are you excited? And you can tell me with a simple yes or no. We're not going all about this live stream today. So if anybody's gonna come through today, Okay, what we got? We're gonna see if anybody coming through. Just had to take a little break, a little delay in the action. So let's talk. If anybody's out here, I don't know. I'm back and see if anybody's out here talking. We're gonna see what body's talking. With all the trades and everything that went down, how did your team do? Where do you stand? How do you feel? Let me know. Let me know. Just curious as to how you feel. Let me know where you are with the trades. Just curious. Some people are going to be indifferent. Some people are going to be kind of like skeptical. So I don't know. Um, if you are, how do I feel? I feel like the Heat waited so long with this. His agent probably got in his ear and said, "Look, you ain't gonna have but so many options. So if your Golden State don't work, don't trip. But you ain't got but so many options. So don't do nothing stupid." Mm. I think Jimmy Butler was tripping, but well, what do I know? you know, and what I do know is what I do. How you doing? What's up? Thank you for coming through. Glad you came through. Glad to have someone coming through today. Thank you. Glad someone came through. Thank you very much. Where you coming from, and let me know what's on your mind. Always glad to have people coming through. So feel free to talk to me. Let me know what's up. One person so far. I won't be coming back live until a few days, and I'm looking to see if I get, when people coming through. So just so you know, hoping that you know, that we get some live buzz again. It's been a while. But hopefully. Doing all right. Just wish people, come through. I know people are busy. I don't know what happened. So anyway, feel free. Let me know what's up. And thanks for the like. Come on in, talk. I'm going to see how long people come through because I will give it, I'm going to be here for a minute. See if we get any kind of conversation and people talking about what they think about the trades and what's going on and all that good stuff. So feel free. Anybody want to come through? I do like going live. I just like to have more people coming through because then it helps out immensely with the conversation and with everything that goes on. So um and again, if you like more live streams, send me a message because I would like it if I know people are coming through. So feel free. What's up? What's up? All right, J. Will, let's talk. And that you here, let's get it. 'Cause I want to make this half hour plus count. Yeah, well, they know they had to do something that was stagnant. They know that people have been complaining about the 3 point, and there's no excitement, no enthusiasm. Contrary to what people say, they really don't want to see Oklahoma City and Cleveland play in the finals, even though I think that'd be a great finals. They want it's politics. So that's what it is. There's a lot of politics going on. They're trying to compete with the NFL. Baseball had the Dodgers and the Yankees, which wasn't that exciting, but it was exciting for the name. He's decent, but they had to give up Connect. So, and they ended up giving up a draft pick. So, you know, so it kind of even out now with the trade with Luca because now they had to give up. That's a good move for the future, though, not for now. If he doesn't stay, if he isn't hurt, that's the key. He's been known to be injury prone. He's a center more for like pick and pop styles. Problem is they still don't have no defense with Luca and LeBron, so you know. But it's a good move for him. Him and Draymond are gonna be more entertaining for if they gonna wrestle in practice than is it. It's one of them moves that you make when you can't get the first or the second option. So you ever was in school and you was trying to holler at a girl and you got turned down by your main two, and then you had to go to the back row. It's kind of what this is at this stage. The back row used to be near the front, but it's in the back now. That's kind of how Jimmy Butler is. This small town window dressing, I doubt it'll work. I doubt it. But Andrew Wiggins never took his game up to another level. So Butler is a better player in terms of, postseason overall. And I believe that if Jimmy Butler had to play alongside someone great like Steph, they had to make another move though. This a short term. It's not bad, but it's not chip move, you know. OKC is still the best team I didn't see. And Shea is playing out his mind right now. Threw up a 50 burger last night. He playing out his mind. But the NBA wants something that they can have a rivalry with. Oh, what this about? They ain't think they slick. Stuff be fixed. So I'm gonna do a video. Which one is more fixed, LeBron and the Lakers or Beyonce winning the album of the year? They are friends. you know, I think they were husband and wife. Well, Jay Z's in between, so all that. All right, keep on asking questions now because I need someone to come through. We need to get this. People coming in, feel free hit the lights, hit the script. Let's get it going. Make these next half hours count. And I'm looking forward to having people coming through. So feel free. It's a lot going on this week. Come on, Jay Will. I know you got more. I don't really have a deep conversation about it because I don't think Jimmy Butler is a needle maker, mover. You know, Jimmy is about Jimmy. So, you know, he messed up a lot of situations. So, you know, he should be thankful to be playing with Steph. But I think they probably missed out on making this kind of move by 2 years. He's not staying in Toronto. That's just a short term layover. And he's too injury prone. I see him. I see a move coming with that. I don't think it'll be the three Bs, unless of course they pick up somebody that you didn't see coming. but no one's breaking their neck to go to Toronto. You know, Toronto messed up their situation with Kawhi, and they've been trying to play catch up ever since. And then Van Fleet left. They still had Fred Van Fleet or somebody of that magnitude, what they got, then I'd say they might. But without PJ Sock'em and all that, they just become like a halfway place, and people go, "You don't hear me say that mess. You don't hear me say that mess." Yeah, he's about as believable as Beyonce when she got the Album of the Year award. Come on now, these people are fake. They knew. They knew. They both knew. If he was really that shocked, he'd have been like, "I can't believe this happened at this stage in my life and career." Because at this stage of your career, you ain't trying to start anew. I don't care who comes to that door because you are 40. Let's not get it twisted. You are 40. And it's not like you're gonna magically shave off 5 or 10 years of your career. Especially when you don't want to chip with the guy. But that's the coldness of the business. But you know, Luca brought that on himself, and they did give him a heck of a sweet of a deal. Because sometimes they send your butt to Toronto somewhere or Charlotte or something and get 30 picks. So he did get fortunate where that was, but um, it might be. It might be. But as long as you can hear me and everything is cool, that's all that matters. But it might be. I'm catching all your questions, so it's all good. I think because I had tried to link it to others, in which I did. So if people want to come through, they can come through. Hopefully. But either way, as long as I got somebody on here in conversation with, we got enough questions. You give me enough good questions, I can fill up a half hour to an hour easily. So just keep on asking and don't stop. Pieces, pieces. All I, if Wiggins and Ben Simmons, he's a better. He went further than Ben Simmons, but it's kind of like the delay that you talk about a delay. If that dude ever broke out of his shell, he could be something. We never got him to that compact. He looked that part in the finals against Boston in parts, but we've never gotten the totality of him at his best. That's the sad part about Andrew Wiggins. That's a woulda, coulda, shoulda. Should have been way better. So everything starts with him. It's not. It's one of those situations with the Heat. This season is a wash. Yes, you get to be a play-in tournament. You probably get knocked out early, and then you can come back next year. But you definitely are soiled behind this mess. Not a good look for Pat Riley. You know, Tyler Hero came up big, but they didn't. It's not a good look. Not a good look. Embarrassing. You know. So I look at it as mediocrity, and no, they got a lot of work to do next year. And I don't know who they're going to treat, how they're going to attract any free agents after the whole mess with Jimmy Butler. I just don't. I think it's going to be a tough sale. People are going to use it. They're going to think Riley's out of touch, out of date, and he messed up in part. Butler messed up because he hurt his stock value, and he's a problematic person. And you would have thought that Riley and Butler would have been, because they were like stern, and it ends up not looking good. So Eric Spoelstra really didn't have to do a lot this year, and they're very mediocre. So might win the division by default because Orlando's a young green team. You know, so what I've said before, they'll come out on a video that I got. The Eagles are the favorite. Kansas City for the upset. Mm, you tell me the teams they beat on artificial turf, and I'll tell you what I think. I know New Orleans was one of them. He's a tough dude, and he is the best I done seen. And if he does win, it would be a heck of a statement. It'd be a heck of a statement. In fact, if he wins, that would probably be the greatest NFL start of a career I've ever. Well, it is the best, already. But if he wins, it's just you know, incredible. And history does favor him for the simple fact that usually when a team plays his team two times, the team that beat him the first time tends to win the Super Bowl. So history does favor him. And he knows how to win in so many ways. So we will see. We shall see. Just a matter of time. All right. Anybody out there, feel free to come through, comment, what have you, what we got. Yeah, I already did a video about Marcus. He been messing with some strange substances. It was somewhere they were in France, and this ain't the first time. I think he's trying to live up to a lifestyle that he ain't really used to. Not in terms of being a grown man. It's different when he's trying to live vicariously through his daddy, but you know, and so he got in over his head a bit. It's not about money, it's psychological, yo. So you gotta stop thinking about money. Cats got psychological issues because you gotta remember that's the very thing that makes them crazy because then had access to something that most people never are. Then you gotta remember he done seen all kinds of money and drugs and women and cars and lifestyle. So it's a psychological situation. It's deeper. It's quite profound. Stuff that we wouldn't. It's a different ball game. He's in a different tax bracket, economical, and reality. So his mother has got to be pretty outside herself with everything that's happening. It gets wild. It gets wild. you know. But I just hope that he gets it together. Just say some prayers for the cat. Well, I'll tell you something. Not just only the Hawks, but the fact is that Fox showed up. He looked good. Well, that's exactly what Wimby needed. CP3 is too old. Now, he can show Fox some obviously tactics and he can show him some looks and he can give him an insight to his longevity, but they needed to make a move like this. Oh, well, everybody's getting all excited about Luca and LeBron, which ain't gonna be a long run, about a year or two tops after this year. No, than more than two. Because I'm gonna tell you something, they're gonna pull the plug on that in probably about a year or two. Because they're gonna get young. And obviously they gotta cook for the next. And they ain't done dealing. They'll look to see if they can add. There'll be another piece that they add. But this duo here got a chance to be top five in a year or two. Everybody healthy on the same page. Very potent. I like this move. And I like Darren Fox. He just quit playing in Sacramento. That's all. When we came up with that huge hit that free throw last night. So they're gonna be a problem in the future. He's still green, but I'm telling you, in 2 years' time, he got a chance to take over. He should be by year 4 or 5 ready to be the most dominant. You'll get glimpses. Next year, you'll get even a bigger step. Now, year 4 or 5, that's when the Wimby era should be in full gear. Because then playing with De'Aaron Fox, get a couple years on his belt. They probably add another piece or so. Watch out. Yeah, they hear people saying it, you know. It's one of them situations that if we're honest, everybody has gotten calls. I mean, people act like this is something new or something. It's always been that way. Ever since I've been watching sports, whoever the more popular team is, popular player, what is new? You know, Roger Goodell can act like he don't see nothing, but everybody gets favorable when they're popular and when the money's money. It's all about the money. I mean, think about it. Nobody wants to watch Minnesota and Houston in no Super Bowl. Just saying. I'm just keeping it 100. They talk parody, but you got to have a name. And it's real. It's all real. So, but it is becoming very much made for TV, though. Very much so. But I always was like that, though. All right, now let's keep it going with give it some conversation. Got some more people coming through, so feel free to comment. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Looking forward to you. So we got. What you mean it'll be done after the win five? You acting like they gonna beat OKC in Denver, and then he got hurt last night. So what do you want? He ain't do nothing. He ain't dominate nothing. Stop with this, please. Stop. He need to be traded just on principle. He ain't doing nothing. We're gonna talk basketball. Let's be reasonable. You're not in the conversation for Cleveland, Boston, and the Knicks or Milwaukee. He should get traded. Hayden stole Philadelphia's money and held them hostage. That's an insult. It's an insult to what the Sixers used to be about. If LeBron and Luca win, then everybody's gonna think the league is fixed. And that's the reality. Um, I want to see OKC win it. I want to see OKC win it. But it do look fixed though. It look fixed. Embiid ain't gonna do nothing though. He too inconsistent. Took people money. All right. Please continue to hit the like. So everybody's on here. And got any comments, feel free to come converse. If the Jets had a quarterback, Cooper Cup to the Jets would be interesting. Um, Tyreek need to go back to Kansas City. That's a no brainer. That's a no brainer. But if it don't, Washington's a landing spot. Um, it's not the That's not the Ravens' problem. The Ravens just need an offensive minded coach. That's the problem. Harbaugh don't know how to. Actually, what they had last year with Derrick Henry was a waste. Why would they go to the Ravens when they don't utilize Derrick Henry the right way? You know. But Tyreek may consider the Raiders. Depends on what the quarterback is like. Somebody gonna go to the Raiders. Raiders, Kansas City. One of those teams. That's what I see. Because there's a few factors. He played for a few too many teams. He wanted more money. And he had a meanness kind of vibe about him, was a self-indulgent. Um Also, he was great, but I think that he turned people off. And I think that it was kind of smug. I mean, most running backs are arrogant as all get out, but there was something about his game. I think that some people got turned off. He's one of the greatest backs ever, but I think that his window, he went to the Colts and I think went to Raiders, and I think playing with a couple too many teams kind of like distorted that. People kind of forgot about him after a while. And I think he kind of came across kind of arrogant. Difference between Dickerson and Bonds, though. Bonds' thing carries more weight. He's considered an all-time great, arguably the greatest. It's just because of the whole people want to use some of the steroid thing, but they also want to use his personality. But they can't deny his MVP and his impact. That's the difference. See, this is it's similar, but it's way different. It's way different. Dickerson wasn't as dominant in sports as Bonds was. In fact, the Rams were a legit playoff team in the '80s and whatnot, but they kind of underachieved. And I wouldn't put Dickerson's running over O.J. Simpson's peak and prime or Jim Brown's. That's why. Or Walter Payton. Payton didn't have no quarterback. That's why I wouldn't put him over that. But he belonged in the top 10. He belonged as one of the top 10, 12 greatest ever. But Bonds was, it just because they didn't like him personally. He didn't kiss their behind. And then other thing. Oh, I remember when he played. I go back to when he was in college with SMU with him and Eric Craig James. Dickerson was a greyhound, yo. He was something else. You could, yeah. Different type of backs though. Falk had that all purpose thing. Falk was arrogant too, but he came in an era where um they hit in different eras too. Falk came when offense got more notoriety. Dickerson was in the NFC Championship game against the Bears when they had the 46 defense and got toe up. And so he didn't have what we call quality teams all through his career. And that's another thing. Falk came around more offensive oriented era of football. But I just think that his personality kind of turned people off. And very few backs had that top tier notoriety. I think the other thing that hurt against him is because Dan Marino got the MVP over him. It might be considered out. Well, it's hard to consider it outrageous because what Marino did back then was extraordinary. So, but he had an incredible. It's just that there's so much politics involved. But I just think that he hadn't loaned himself to being a beloved. He was never going to be beloved. But yeah, he is. But again, look at where he played. You know, you depend on who you play for. You know, yeah. The only thing that worked against them is they went to two Super Bowl, they won one. So with that's why football is tougher. It's tough to dominate the NFL. It's tough because all them numbers they put up during the regular season, it's tough to dominate the NFL. Tough sport. Well, you got to have the right coach, the right quarterback, the right chemistry, the right defense. You know, but the Colts weren't the most dominant team I've seen either. The Bills had more of a dominant team. They went to four straight Super Bowls. That's parity. Even though the parity's kind of mixed, because if you think about it, um, you haven't really had what I call a team win that didn't have a name brand. Kawhi won in Toronto. He was a name brand. LeBron AD in LA. Giannis in Milwaukee. Uh, Steph in Golden State. Jokic in Denver. Uh, Tatum, Brown, Boston. Now, if Shea wins, that's the first time you've had what I call not a name brand, household brand to win. Think about it. Household brand is a different situation. So, or if Donovan Mitchell wins. So, it's different. Excuse me. So it's a different connotation. They mean different things. That's the parity that they got to say they got. We'll see. If OKC wins this year, then it keeps it going. But that means the Lakers, Golden State can't win. I mean, we got to keep on seeing a different team win. That's what I would like to see if we got real parity. But I don't think they want it. They don't want a small market winning, and OKC looks like the best team. So we'll see. Please continue to hit the likes, hit everything up. Let's see what we're working with. Mhm. Are you talking about Oscar Robinson? That's a great question. I might have to do that into a video. Yeah, yeah, because he was a better scorer than Magic. He had a better outside shot than Magic. When Oscar Robinson got his hands on Kareem, he won. He had already done all the singular accolades. That's a great question you asking. I'm gonna make that into a video. I'm gonna have to make that into a video. Thank you. You gave me something to work with for the video. Thank you. Oh yeah. I'm gonna write that down. I'll make that into a future one when I do my hypotheticals. Stay in magic. That's a great question too. Yeah, of course I would say that because Oscar Robertson is one of the most disrespected greats ever. People don't understand how dynamic he was. And that you know, think about a triple double with no 3-point line, all that physical contact, all them bodies he encountered. Shoot, he'd be scary. Um, Magic's playmaking. He was as good as Magic was. He'd been fine. If you traded him, you'd see. If you trade him, you'd be fine. You know, Magic wasn't like no cold stopper defender, but his playmaking made up for. You know, but Oscar Robinson was like a total package, yo. um, I mean, he understood territorial. So I'm gonna use that for a future video. Thank you, though. You inspired me. Gave me something to work with. For me, Kevin McHale. Now, Garnett was a better player because he had better repertoire when he did, but McHale was like an octopus. You ever seen an octopus? Hands go all over him, move him. No one had more arms than that man. The only person I seen who utilized their hands at most in the post and the box was Adrian Dantley. And he did that on the perimeter. But McHale was like an octopus, a Herman monster, his hands. And he did a lot more. KZ didn't dominate in the box like that, dude. He beat you everywhere else though. Better all around game. But McHale, one of my favorite players ever. You didn't outwork him. I think he could have even been better than he was too. I do. So that's just my personal opinion. But I like him though. McHale was a bad dude. And one of those kind of guys that, you know, that's because he didn't fit with what Isaiah wanted. That's why they had his buddy Mark McGuire came in and they didn't fit style. And, there's a lot of factors involved when you're playing with teammates. People want something to get. He still got a championship ring though. They could have won with him, but he just didn't fit what Isaiah wanted. He was more hands on the ball. He was a tempo guy. And you know, the ball goes into the black hole when he gets it. He's a one-on-one. He wear you down. He wears clock down. And he was great for what he do, but not for the kind of style Isaiah wanted. So it's a touchy subject, but and I'm a fan of both of them. But I saw why it didn't work. I got it. He did. It's a shame that had he got a chance to play with Karl Malone and Stockton. Of course, if they'd have had Daryl Griffin, there's so many things Utah didn't get to do. Timing was off. But AD is one of the baddest. He's the real AD. That's one of the baddest cats I ever saw. That dude will wear you out at the top of the key in the box, and you have to file him. He was cold. Hmm. Hmm. Strong too. So but that's a different era though. Different era. He was. That's what hurt. That's the only thing that's what he'd have had that. He wins a chip. Yeah. All he needed was somebody that could put like 12 and 5 up. Because Osa Tag and Foster couldn't do that combined. And that was the problem. You ever thought about what? You never thought what? He didn't come out public and always say it, but oh yeah, because no one talks about it. You giving me some good videos. I'm gonna use future, so thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna, but they won't come out for a while. They did. You put somebody like Adrian Danley who could put you. I call him like Jake the Snake. He put you in a sleeper. Shoot, they would have been scary. That would have been scary. I'll make that into a video. That would have been a scary big three. Because Danley didn't turn the ball over much. He was physical. He'd wear you out. He'd get to the free throw line. That would be hard. And see, remember when they played the Bulls, all it came down was like a possession. Some of them games was possessions. So you get a cat like that, you win a chip, you know. But people don't, didn't think like that. They did because they were predicated on fundamental basketball. Now listen, John Stockton could probably have played till about 10 years ago. I exaggerate you not. Fundamental, one of the most fundamental players I've ever seen. But problem was, I like Jeff Hornacek, but he wasn't no Adrian Dantley. Howard Easley, he wasn't no AD. AD would have been a problem for the Bulls. He would have been a problem. Pippen would have had a problem with him. Would have had a problem with him. He's strong. He gave the Lakers a problem. So get that free throw line, work that sweet spot. That's all it took. You talking about Antonio Carr. And he was a bum, big, but no threat. Just a meat body. Antonio Carr. He been a journeyman. Physical, but he ain't put no points up. You know. Basically like a Mr. T bouncer. Yeah. You know. Mean mugging. That's what I'm saying. That's what when Shaq slapped Oster tag, dunked all over Foster, them cats was crying, meow. Big and soft. Mark Eaton was too. If he wasn't blocking your shot, he was getting stuffed on. I never had cats that you were worried about in the paint. I think they had Thurl Bailey. I forgot who they had, but they never did get that center spot right. Cost them a chip or two. And I'm not even talking about a top tier dude. I'm just talking about you get somebody that could bang and could score. That's all you needed. So, but I think people gonna be feeling sorry for Utah. Just saying. Just saying. Please keep on hitting the like up, hit that poll question up. Come on in. For me, was Camby. Alonzo was a better overall player, but I think Camby was more effective for just that shot blocking. Because I'm gonna say one thing: Camby wasn't posterized as much as Alonzo was. Just saying. Cats teed off on Zoe. I don't see a lot of cats teeing off on Camby. Just saying. Zoe was bad, but Camby to me was a defensive enforcer. That was his job. And he was, yeah, that's what they don't bring back to today's NBA. That's what we're missing. A guy like that with the boards. Yeah, he was. That's when he went to the finals. They were just too light in the back pockets to mess with Robinson and Duncan. That was the problem, you know. But he was one of those kind of guys, kind of like a precursor to Tyson Chandler, that you utilize in that position. He stand guard, he block shots. But, you know, that's the NBA that Adam Silver doesn't want. That's the problem with people want. You ain't getting that guy. That guy today gonna have to shoot two or three threes to stay on the floor. Like yeah, I did. He felt like he let one slip. Spree and Houston were nice though. They were feisty. They were missing somebody else though for being a threat in that finals though. They were missing guard player or post. That would have been a different finals maybe. And that's a fact. They were missing that. But that Spurs team was good. That beat them. Avery Johnson played good, solid point. Sean Elliott was huge. Dave Robinson, they came up big. Duncan was unstoppable. So, but back then you had guys like him and Malik Rose and guys that, you know, physical dudes that hit their spot. That's the league that I told you before. Adam Silver doesn't want. You better be happy with the Lakers getting that center, but I'm gonna tell you something. What's that dude Williams that played for Boston? He was just like that dude too, but those kind of centers don't make it in today's NBA unless you got an outside J. This doesn't work. Only the one he talks about, when he goes on about his four rings, or he, I think what only thing that I have an issue is when he doesn't talk like how he talks, in the sense that how he feels. It doesn't hurt him in the sense that he was dominant. I mean, when you look back on his numbers and what he did, he still got a lot of records. His impact is still felt. You're never going to see another center like him again, unless he's got an outside game like Jokic. But I'm talking about where you dominate and you win. None of the centers have come after him have done that. So he's still 101. I think when he gets petty, you know, I think he hurts himself talking about Dwight Howard, a guy who couldn't carry Shaq's shoes in totality. Now Dwight had talent, but he underutilized it. I think that's what hurt Shaq because he's wasting his time with the cat that is not on the same wavelength as him. Not even close. Should have been. Yeah. And I got a problem with that because the white is everything people always try to say about Shaq. And talking about underachievement. That is the white. If the white learned how to have a little bit of a hook shot to go with his defense, are you kidding me? He could have been a modern day David Robinson. It was an issue. I think his commitment attitude. I'll say it like this: the weight is a metaphor for other things. I don't think his commitment to getting himself in the best mental and physical space is why he got dealt. And I think Jason Kidd being a coach is like, look, I can't deal with you. What's up, Charlene? I thought it was bought and paid for. I don't like the album, but I like the fact a lot of country folks is upset with it. I like the fact that she ticked off a lot of people, but the album isn't that good to me. But she is a believable about that album. When that album year is LeBron is about getting Luca. They know. Jay Z sat there and cried last year, begging them. So you know that's what it was. It's bought and paid for. You know, people gonna be talking about a record that most people didn't even care about because to most people, Beyonce ain't even married since Single Ladies was out. Most of them ain't really after Lemonade. They kind of went the other way with her, and she's gotten to be old news. So, but the weight was part of it, but it's also his attitude. I think Luca's attitude is what turned people off in Dallas. They like, look, you're not worth all that, and he not because yes, they got to the finals where they had Kyrie, but it's not like he came back this year and was mad and said, look, I'm gonna beat Boston. He doesn't have that attitude. So, you know, the reason why some people look at and think Dallas got the better in the deal is because of his what they see in terms of his attitude. His attitude hasn't been like I'm gonna try to win, you know, So I think that's one of the things that works against him. Yeah, she won. That's how it always is. We usually want an artist that's past their peak and their prime. They've been around long enough. The Academy's like, okay, we'll give you one. That's what they do. You know. And Jay Z sat there and cried last year. But how come she can't get one? And what in the stores are fake, bought and paid for 'em, all that overacting. So her fans don't care though. So all right, keep on hitting that like up. Let's get into it. All right, what's Cap? Since someone just coming out the blue saying that's Cap, what's Cap? What you talking about? And if you're gonna make a strong statement, back it up. Yeah, I did the video last night. Um, Probably people want to get on the stage with Kendrick. That's the only thing I could think of. Probably want to try to jump on there with Kendrick. Try to see how much pull he got. That's the only thing I can think of. Mhm. People want to get on stage. Yeah, rest in peace to Irv. Um, I did 2 videos. I talked about the ink, and success, and different things. And yeah, it's crazy. He's only 54. Mm. Please keep on hitting the like up. See what we're working with. I still have 20 more minutes. I'm going to see what we got. 20 more minutes. If I get more comments and conversation, I will make it 30, but at least 20 more at least. So let's make it count. Let's see we get people hitting the poll question and come on in here with some words. That's what you got. Um, they died young back then too. Because James Dean died, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Jackie Wilson was 47, Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Dorothy Dandridge, Marilyn Monroe. You still think that? Because I just named you quite a few artists and actors, actresses, and music artists that died young. So you still think that? I think that's where reporting today is different though, because you have more access to people are speaking on it. That's all. If you're going by the Tupac Biggie, and then with Easy E and Jam Master Jay, Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Rick James, Luther Vandross, Barry White. Hmm. It depends. Of course, back in the day, you had Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, Jim Croce. It all depends on it all depends which angle you're coming from. I think it's more sensationalized now because of the internet. That's what it is. Because I think if you had the internet back when James Dean and Jimi Hendrix and Marilyn Monroe had passed, you would have had a big hoop with there too. So all depends on the era. But fair enough. All right. Let's keep on hitting these likes up. Smash up them likes. Smash up them likes. Let me know where you're coming from. What's on your mind. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Got a good live stream today now. Starting to get warm. Took a little while. All right. Anybody out there, feel free to converse. Get some conversation going. Don't get shy now. Let's talk. Depends on what that means. SW. Where you coming from today? Looks like Troll Central, so I gotta put you out of here. Okay. Don't be doing no trolling today. Gotta have conversations, gotta keep it on point. Anyway, Jay will give me some good ideas. I got some future topics. I'm gonna do the what ifs. You can say that again, but you know what? Nobody wants that other big man. Frenchie ain't going nowhere. He doesn't have an understanding of the game. He thinks like his age. His maturation hasn't come into view. He hasn't hurt. He hasn't understood the compartmentalize. He scored 49 last night. But if he had Jimmy Butler's mindset to like attack, he could be he could be top 2 or 3 right now. He should be top 2 or 3 right now. He can go to the hole, got the outside. He just tends to fall in love and lure and likes to play this, you know, it's a game as opposed to just letting it come and playing smart. And so he does a lot of dancing as opposed to just playing his game. That's a problem. Um, hey, I don't talk about no Rudy Gobert. If only he was. If only he was. When I was coming along, if a guy was dominant low post, he wasn't a highlight reel. But this turkey always, he's just an actor. That's all. He's just an actor. He don't really show me no game. If he ain't blocking shots, you can go by him. He don't defend on the straight pick and roll. He's quick, but he's limited what he can defend anyway. So you got that right. They did get rid of the wrong big, but nobody wants him though. Because quiet is his kept, Jay Will. Something that you ain't alluded to. He'd be perfect for the Lakers. He'd be perfect for the Celtics. All you do is catch and dunk and block shots. You tell me LeBron couldn't do nothing with Gobert. You tell me the Celtics couldn't do nothing with Gobert. You see how overrated he is right now. That's what I'm saying. He gets overpaid for so little. But if you put his skills, his style, the way he play, he'd be perfect. But ain't nobody sane gonna pay a half-hearted player like that kind of money. That's sane. Because I'm supposed to believe that he's as impactful as Ben Wallace and um, Dwight Howard. That's what you're trying to tell me. He ain't though. He ain't. But nice try though. It's a nice try. People are funny though, trying to hype up Rudy Gobert. Well, I used to call Rudy Gone Soft. That's what I call him. He's such a comedian. But that's what the league want though. They have you thinking that he's a second coming of something. I don't know what he's second coming of. He's soft to me. But So she rebounds real nicely, but she really doesn't have what I call a fadeaway, no hook shot, no finger roll. But yeah, I mean, she just raw boned it. Right now, she's raw boning it. Yeah, she need to take a cue from what's her name? Can't think of her name right now. The left-handed chick that reminds me of Dave Robinson and Elijah one. I did a video on her. That's who she should take a cue from. Work on a fadeaway, jump shot, bank shot, spin move. You know. But again, she's in that raw bone era. That's how most of them win for the first 2 3 years until they actually, polish up their skill set. That's what Giannis used to do. Not Lisa Leste. I'm talking about the ones playing now. The one who was like an MVP a few years ago in the WNBA. Not no Lisa Leste. I said left-hander. I can't think of her name too because I did a video on her. And she got a nice game. She remind me of like a female version of David Robinson, and she jukes like Elijah one. She's like David Robinson in Dream. Female player, left-handed, playing right now. I did a video about her recently. This was months ago. Because I can't think. Yeah, it'll come to me after the fact. But she got a nice game though. And if Angel Reese works on some choreography and some steps, she nice. Oh yeah, I used to watch that too. I used to Cynthia Cooper and Lisa Less and all that. And Cheryl Swoops, who was beasting. Hmm. Still got some great talent in the WNBA. Problem is that the teams didn't catch on or they got ran out, but there's some great talent. Cynthia Cooper was bad too. Mhm. Yep, those were the days. Those were the days. Yeah, and she had spring in her too. Hmm. Yeah, I would like Candace for a minute. Yeah, I don't know if he had all the hand he had in it because you never know. He probably was probably watching. You never know. You never know. Could have had been the cameraman. Mm. I didn't heard some strange things, so you never know. It's never quite like the way you think it is. Let's just say that. Mm-mm. I tell you all the time, booty for looty, cheeks for checks. I say it all the time. You'd be surprised what goes on some of these. As I get put in a position. So you see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I have to Google that chick up I was talking about. But yeah, she bad though. Next time I talk to you, I have her name. But yeah, that's if Angel Reese worked with her with that spin move, that fadeaway, that bank shot. And to tell you the truth, if Angel Reese could work with somebody like Rondo with the movement, or Derrick Rose, that's all it takes. Just choreography. But yeah, it's female. But I'm talking about. I didn't really. I've talked about I have talked about him. If you watch my videos, they're gonna backfire. I've already done videos about him and the co-president Elon Musk, and all that stuff's gonna backfire. I've said the same thing, and I have done videos with Musk, who is the co-president. All this is to try to grandstand and to make people in the money, and it's going to backfire. You can't work legally without other countries, and when you're getting the imports and so on and so forth. Everything he does is going to backfire. He's trying too hard to come across like he's going to be all bend out, be all in a country that doesn't even operate like that. He's still trying to sell. Uh, this is 2025. Still trying to sell 1925 philosophy, 1955 philosophy, 65, maybe 75. Anything after the 80s, you don't want to listen to him. So anyway, so long story short, his agenda is gonna backfire as usual. As usual. What you think? What you think? He always proposing all these different ideas against different places, and he's talking all this stuff about taking over territories and stuff. People ain't gonna let him walk all over them and do that. He talks a lot about stuff, but the actuality and the reality is two different things. He's always trying to use a distraction because he hopes people don't figure out the mess that he's always in. That's the problem. They don't talk about something unless someone brought up an interesting idea. But the problem is that he can't possibly get out of that. Hmm. Hmm. And people knew it was going to be a rough proposition. They knew it was going to mean it's going to drive costs up. He's still trying to act like everything comes from the states, is all pious and all scholarly. But the bottom line is he's got business overseas. He's got a lot of contacts. His business doesn't even really like that. So he had already said what he was going to do. Obviously, most of the time when you bring in a new administration, you better be prepared to pay more taxes. And you better be prepared for an onslaught of, everybody going to take a cut. But I don't think people understand the totality of what he's coming with. And that's the reality that it's going to be impacting all. As it should. Because it looks, yeah, it's cap if you just come in and nobody else has the impact of it. It doesn't even look right. So, but again, hard heads out here and they thought, oh, he was going to be this and that. Well, okay. No, no. Because the problem is that then who they going to beat in the West? Who? Who? I don't see neither one of them. I told you the Lakers do it. That's the fix. If Steph does it, that would be more incredible because it doesn't look like it's seemingly possible. It doesn't look possible because I don't like what they got. They're missing another piece, and they missing a piece or two off the bench. I seen there's no way. Mm-mm. So Golden State just basically got what we call duct tape and some chewing gum covering up a hole in a spot. That's all it is. This ain't no deep run. You could be a sucker and buy Jimmy Butler giving you a run, and then you sign him, and then he goes AWOL in a couple years. So I don't think Steve Kerr will be able to, deal with that. It'll be a matter of time. for you. I don't think it's going to change much of anything. I think if Curry did it, he would automatically move up as one of the five greatest ever. But the problem that he run into is that it would be short lived. I don't know. I want OKC to win or Cleveland, something different. I like the parody. I hope it's parody. I don't like the thought of the usual suspects getting hooked up. It just don't seem right. So that's all I gotta say about that. So anyway, share about 9 more minutes. He gave me some great ideas though. I'm gonna do some future videos now, so you have to wait for them for a few months. But you gave me a couple good ideas that I will do for future writs. So see what we got. So keep on hitting the likes up. Hit this button up. Let me know. Let me know. It's gotten quiet again. So appreciate everybody that came through today and good conversation. Thank you all for coming through. Butler. Brand Ingram ain't gonna want to stay no Toronto. That's like being in Saudi Arabia. They ain't gonna win nothing. You have to have quickness. He'll be smooth, but he'll got that quickness. If, only if Watson was a quarterback. But Watson, okay. They ain't got much to be excited about. I don't know what they're getting excited about. He don't play but halftime. He's more street clothes than Paul George. He don't play but halftime. And he in what universe? Don't insult Kawhi Leonard like that. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If Brandon Ingram had half of Kawhi Leonard's energy and attitude, then that would have been a steal. That would have been a steal. So if they only could get excited, that was funny. I like Brandon too, and I know his cousin, you know, but one of his cousins, but he just one of those guys. He just never quite got to another level. So hmm. Anyway, I'll have a couple minutes see if everybody's coming through. Got quiet again, so I think that might be my cue. Appreciate everybody, the ones that did comment, took the poll question. Um, yes, definitely. 80% said yes. And beer trays are exciting, so that's good. Appreciate everyone taking the poll. So now that everybody's kind of, it's gone back to being quiet, I think I'll just ease them about unless somebody comes through that, got questions or something. I'll pretty much call it a day. Shit, God. So anyway, just gonna take it on for a couple more minutes. That was a funny line though. They got Kawhi over again out here guarding. What's called dominance though, one there. So there we go. Right. Got my call today. Give it one more minute, see if anybody comes through. If not, I'll just call it a day. We did pretty good today, so mm. Anyway, we're gonna call it a day. Appreciate everyone that came through. Thanks for the clicks and the views. And I'm gonna get started on some topics. And stay safe, stay blessed, stay well, stay woke, stay free. Thank you always for supporting the channel. And again, if you want me to be on here live, just let me know in the comment section, and we have to meet a time where we get more people involved. And take it easy, peace.